Here we are at the BBC headquarters in Salford Quays. Some people say that the British mind was built for the BBC. Morning everyone, 29th, Wednesday, July 2020. We're here at the BBC headquarters at Salford Quays, and behind me is a police BMW X3 or X5, and it has the red dots on the red square dots on it. That signifies that this is armed police response. They carry their assault rifles or the submachine guns. You know, it's incredibly apparent, you know, after having dealt with the police recently as a victim, that they don't care, they don't give a fuck. They don't work for the cattle that is the people that get taxed at the bottom. It is actually in their job title, their oath, to maintain the Queen's peace. Now, the Queen's peace has nothing to do with the peasants outside the palace gates getting upset, spitting on each other, assaulting each other, lying about each other, being nasty to each other. They're uninterested, they're just there, drinking their lattes. They're here to protect the British Broadcasting Corporation from obviously terrorist attacks or whatever attacks. They're there enjoying my taxpayer money to get fat and uninterested and bored, drinking their lattes, eating their pret-a-manger paninis. Anyway, before I become bitter and annoyed at these fucking fluorescent, fancy dress, clown world fucking apparatchiks, let's go do something else. You know, I used to work for a company here in Salford Quays, I see it down there, that sold these buy-to-let apartments. In fact, no, those are the ones, the X1 Night Knox ones. There's meant to be 4 towers, they've built 2, you can't see the one behind it. But again, it took about 1.5 years to even get one to about 80% occupancy. Now, coronavirus has absolutely blown away these middleman sales companies. Hey, earn 6% guaranteed yields on your rental income per year. Forget the fact that we've increased the capital price of your property by 12% to cover those 2 years. The entropy of capitalism. It's all really, really silly now. But you come around here to Salford Quays, you see how it's just a lot of empty space. It's very, very silly. And the best bit as well, the armed police car behind me has got their engine running directly outside the air quality management area. Reduce harmful emissions. Turn off your engine while stationary. But there you go. They work for the Queen. Why should they follow the peasant rules? You got to see this, guys, here at the BBC headquarters. They've got people eating their meals in their little quarantine glass boxes. Love it. Massive satellite dishes beaming out the cattle pacification program. Let me see if I can get the sky out of that fucking shot. Here we go. What if I press here? There you go. ITV, the Chavy TV station in Coronation Street. My God, this has been pacifying and placating the plebs for the last 60, 70 years. Longest running TV show in the world, perhaps. Anyway, within that massive wall, you can see some of the kind of wall there. You can see the fakery, like when you look into the houses on the main drag at Disney World. Again, it's like a Truman Show, but a deranged pacification Truman Show. Everyone knows it's fake, of course, they're all actors. There's no victim, but the only victim is the British public having to put up with this utter garbage. You know, I hate totalitarian regimes, but there was a quote that struck with me. They said that at the height of the Soviet Union, on the stunning Moscow subway, the metro, the underground train service, people would be reading Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, actually discussing philosophy with one another, because that deranged drive for greed, entrepreneurship, capitalism, oh, I need to make money, need to make money. Everyone is guaranteed a job. So what do they have to talk about? Fucking high-level, high-order thoughts. Now, again, fuck the totalitarian regimes, fuck the Soviet Union, fuck Stalin, fuck Khrushchev, fuck all of them. But it would be nice if people actually read books rather than watching Coronation Street, says the man that creates video content. But hey, I'll do some writing for you all. Okay, just another angle of the BBC headquarter areas. It's actually called Media City UK, with the BBC as the biggest tenant. Look at the smugness. They're like, oh yeah, we'll give you your bullshit in the morning. Look at this. Yay! Fucking how highly paid are these bastards? Enforced taxation through the TV license. Oi matey, you got a license to watch that propaganda? Amazing. Not even in the Soviet Union did they make you pay for your own brainwashing. Anyway, obviously I'm in one of those moods. But what I find interesting here, let's talk about the kind of the bullshit, the corruption of the statist. Salford, the county where I live, is one of the most deprived parts of the United Kingdom. It is the Detroit of the United Kingdom, with I guess Greater Manchester would be the Michigan. So it's, you know, former industrial site, former glory, former money. Now it's just depression, drugs. I think 30% of the population are on SSRIs, you know, the kind of Prozac type antidepressants, ridiculous amounts. Did you know that here in Salford only 12%, I'll say that again, 12% of mothers breastfeed their kids? All 3 of my children were breastfed. But how fucking deranged is a place where 88% don't put their tits anywhere near their baby? It even says on the milk formula, the baby formula packet, it says not as good as breast. This is the second best option. Even on the capitalistic packets, they say our product's not as good as what your tits can provide, and they still choose to not do it because they are overly socialized. They are deranged. They've been driven insane by clown world. So the madness of the statist, to stay on track and to avoid the tangent one more time. Salford being highly deprived, the BBC being a government agency, of course. They're like, I know, to make Salford a bit more, you know, wealthy, let's put the massive BBC headquarters in Salford. Let's move it out of London. So they brought it up here. They spent hundreds of millions of pounds on this massive site. They've got security zooming around on segways. And guess what? 85% of the workers here are not local. They either came up from London, they come from other parts of the country. Only 15% of the thousands of workers here actually come from Salford. So the money that comes in, it goes straight out again. It hasn't helped Salford at all. Okay, 15%. But you'd think there should be a rule, perhaps, that half the people should have been from the local area. 75% of the people should have been from the local area. But there isn't. Putting the conspiracy hat back on for a moment. Here I'm in the main square, of course, straight at the BBC. Let's have a look at their rhyming, the little puns. Oh no, where was it? It said before it changed, please be smart, stay 2 meters apart. Fuck your puns, man. Wonder how much they paid the marketing exec to come up with that one. So I've put the tinfoil hat back on. Let's think about the various documents over the last 70 years. And even further back, this has been an ancient, well not ancient, there's a kind of Victorian idea as well. Thomas Malthus, too many people, depopulation, Club of Rome, environmentalism, deep, you know, sterilization, the media encouraging people to have less children. As you know, as I've been barking on about for the last year or two, have babies, believe in the future. But if I were to be a member of the Bilderberg group or the Davos, you know, the ultra billionaires, the ultra powerful, the ultra influential, the I'm not going to name names, but you know, the clubs, the kind of people that would meet at Jeffrey Epstein's island and kind of either take part in enjoying the 16-year-old girls, or they'd look the other way and whatever, you know, the Jeffrey Epstein set, we'll call them. If they had a psychotic dream of mass murder to save the world, how would they go about it? Here's how they do it. It's very hard in the West to, you know, keep a secret. You know, I think the last big secret we managed was the Manhattan Project. Who knows how many drunken sailors, how many drunken security men were put in a cell for a year or two for the sake of the secret. But if I were a crazy person crazy but highly intelligent, who hated humanity, who hated babies, who hated the masses, and wanted to depopulate along the lines of the Georgia Guidestones to keep, say, 500 million and get rid of the other useless eaters. Here's how I'd do it. I would hide everything under Occam's razor. So I would make sure that all my plans were perfectly hidden, out in the open, beneath the most plausible, simple explanation. So let's say there is a worldwide conspiracy to depopulate. What you do is you make sure that the media makes the public believe that there is this antagonism against China, you know, saber rattling against China, having a go at China. Let's criticize the Chinese, let's talk about their concentration camps. And then what you do is you have your Bilderberg agents release the virus in Wuhan with the full knowledge of the Chinese president who's in the club, with the full knowledge of the bankers in Switzerland who are in the club, with the full knowledge of the upper echelons of the American high society. So then you do that, then you create even more antagonism. You see how far you can push the whole stay safe, wear a mask, wear a soggy face nappy, stay at home, do as you're told. You see how far you can push that. And then you can release subsequent waves. You can release deadlier versions of it. You can then blame the public. Say, look, those people not wearing the mask, it's their fault. Those people that went on the protests, that BLM, it's their fault. And then you divide and conquer. And then if any scientist notices that there's a stronger strain, that instead of a 0.5% or 2% maximum mortality rate, let's say it's got a 50% mortality rate, Occam's razor, you could say, well, look at that, 50 million people were infected. The SARS-CoV-2 virus obviously mutated to become a lot deadlier. And who'd argue with them? That is the most plausible explanation. You start fucking around with people's morality. You start demoralizing them. You tell them to go on holiday. This is not just in the UK, but abroad. And then you say, oh, sorry, you're going to lose your job because we've just brought in, I know you're in Spain on the beach, but 2-week quarantine. Baby's still asleep. So you demoralize them. You make them wear the soggy face nappy, which is a harbour place for bacteria. Unless you're trained in... Could that machine please stop? Unless you're trained in how to deal with biohazards and personal protective equipment, your face mask is just a biohazard. You're probably more likely to get the virus. So you divide and conquer. You make people turn on people like me that don't wear the mask. I'm going to pause this, let that beast go past. So where was I? The guy kindly switched off the engine on his little suction machine. Isaac, I'll be 1 minute. Let me just put his dummy in, 1 sec. So you get half the public hating the other half. You've got 80% who are brainwashed by the TV, believing that us that don't wear the mask are purposefully infecting them with the plague. So you get that kind of animosity. All the while, the economy starts tanking. You know, then they're gonna, this is again, wearing the conspiracy hat, release a deadlier strain, start a bio war, people start falling in their millions. And then you say, well, it's because they didn't wear the mask. It's because they weren't good peasants, bad citizens. And that's how they do it. Everything hides under Occam's razor. You try and uncover it. No, you're a fucking paranoid bastard. You're paranoid. They're not depopulating you. They aren't having a deranged dream of mass murder. They haven't been talking about it for the last 100 years, how there's too many people. So the economy tanks, there's riots, people lose their job, there's fighting. We see in Seattle, the police actually wrote a letter to the public saying, sorry business owners, we can't defend your businesses against these deranged, insane communists that are smashing it up and killing you. Because, get this, the city banned non-lethal stuff like truncheons or pepper spray or rubber bullets. So how can the police police thousands of protesters? So they let it burn. And as it burns, people get angry. We saw some guy, I think it was in Portland, a LARPer, little ginger boy. Not that his hair color makes a difference, but he was carrying an AK-47 because he believed in himself as a kind of Che Guevara. Anyway, some car turned up. There's video of him pointing his AK-47 at the driver. Driver thinks he's about to die, shoots the guy dead, gets arrested. The police... Hey man, how are you? Excellent, good to see you. Just in the middle of a, thank you. So he gets arrested and released 10 minutes later. The police go, why did you shoot the guy? Oh, yeah, he pointed an AK-47 in my face. I thought he was going to kill me. Fair enough. So as the madness increases, just like the film The Joker, they're going to have to start putting people in camps for their own safety so they can be fed. And once the people are in the camps, oh, a pandemic spreads out. Oh, it breaks out. There's a cholera outbreak, typhoid, bloody deadlier coronavirus. And next thing you know, the population goes down. Oh, don't have babies, it's bad. And then down, people in camps. Soon, if you haven't got the microchip, the coronavirus passport, you're not allowed to buy food. So either you completely take it in the ass and get demoralized, or you have to do what small groups throughout history have always had to do. And that is put your balls on the line, start a resistance group, and blow up Nazi trains. Blow up Stalinist trains. Write massive books revealing the Gulag Archipelago. Interesting times, people. I wish we didn't live in them. You know, I thought when I was 18 in 1998, you know, 3 years before 9/11, it was all Monica Lewinsky blowjob, Bill Clinton blowjob. That was the worst problem we had. And now look at it. Take me back to the Bill Clinton blowjob days. Because now, like, I thought we'd, you know, as Fukushima, said, the sociologist, it's the end of history. The whole world's neoliberal. I better take this baby home. The whole world's neoliberal, I believed. I thought we'd won. I had a great time at university. But now look at the universities. You know, when I was at university in the late 90s, it was a dream. It was like the 80s, but it was like Miami Vice, but modern. Men were men. Women were women. We had a good time. But now, they don't even know that. This is Charlie Veitch reporting from BBC headquarters in Salford Quays. Thanks for watching.